So in some ways, we assist young people, and it doesn't have to be by giving them a paycheck or to make sure that they are involved in a program that we don't have a lot of influence. We are making sure that we provide opportunities for caddies to get more experience, and at the same time they get a chance to have some fun with our celebrities and our paid customers. So. Next, I want to go right into our Practitioner Awards. And Mark, if you'd come up here, and my brother Mark was fortunate to come in from St. Joe. Okay. And certainly, I think this is the third year that we've had this. This is the first time I've had one of my brothers up here, and we just felt it was a good opportunity because these two awards are in the names of my mother and my father. Both were advocates for physical activity. Certainly my father was a professional football player. Their biographies are in your program. And my mother was a physical education teacher. So both of them were educators, and certainly I followed suit in that area, but also as it has been the theme with this foundation, we've used the mentoring and life skill development approach to really help youth succeed. So for the first recipient, as you all know, this is our third year for the Practitioner Award. We will give in my mother's name Memorial Award because my mother has passed, but has certainly left a lasting mark on our approach to education as well as our approach to life and lifestyle management. At the same time, it's an honor to be able to recognize people here in our community who are doing good works. People in our community who may not necessarily get the recognition otherwise. People in our community who I see personally are doing the work underneath the radar and work very hard just like you and me every day. And certainly people who have been involved in our program to a certain extent and have helped us become successful. Most of our recipients are going to be people who are helping to get young people engaged in physical activity in various ways or sport. But I usually have the keen eye and recognize individuals right away when I know they're important. So our first recipient of my mother's award, Practitioner Award, is Linda Coleman. And Linda, won't you come on up here? Thank you.
Appreciate it so much.
You got that. Okay.
I do. So I get to have the big mic.
Yes, you get to have the big mic.
Well, my biggest concern was how was I going to get on this stool with a dress on?
Okay, well, good. So Linda, you and I first met when we were doing our clinics at Merritt Community Services, and I think one of the things that really touched me about it was that you're not open every day, and that's due to funding issues. And oftentimes, Linda would open the building up just for us to do these 1-hour clinics with their young people. And you constantly are having some of those financial troubles, right? And we won't talk too much about that, but just tell me a little bit about Merritt Community Services, and believe me, tell our audience about what it's meant for us to collaborate on these efforts, some experiences that these young people haven't had before.
First, I would really like to thank you both. I appreciate the fact that I have a Practitioner Award in your mother's name. She was an educator, much like myself, and although I didn't know her, I just know we have a kindred spirit because of being an educator, so I certainly appreciate that. Merritt Community Services is a 501c nonprofit located in the east side of St. Paul. It has been in business for 108 years. And so you would think after 108 years, financial concerns would not be an issue. But in the financial climate that we're in today, all nonprofits, most of us, we have to depend on the generosity of volunteers, grantors, and all those things pulled together to make the program happen. And so we have experienced quite the financial loss because of the loss of grants. So we have been doing what's called a furlough day, and I know some of you have heard of those before. It's an unpaid day that happens at least once, maybe twice a month. And unfortunately, that day always fell on the day that it was time for lacrosse. But the children were so involved in lacrosse and really felt like it was such an important part of their program. To support that, I would open the building on the days that we would have lacrosse, even if we were closed. And the importance of that was the consistency. Lacrosse is a hidden jewel that we're finding in the community for children who are inner city children and possibly would not have the opportunity for any other sports. Not only does it teach consistency, team building, leadership, it helps with physical activity for our children, but it also teaches them that through any adversity, you can overcome. Most inner city children didn't know about lacrosse until you came to our program. And they were not only skilled, but they now appreciate the rules from lacrosse, helping them understand how to pass the ball, how to work as a team, how to continue to use those skills they've learned in lacrosse in their everyday life. Yeah. So it has been a blessing and a godsend to us as we teach those same skills: respect of self, respect of others, and respect of property. It fits perfectly with the mission for the Leo Lewis Foundation.
Yeah, and I do want to have a preface with our relationship with St. Paul Parks and Rec.
Yes.
We came into this agreement to work with about 15 different parks in St. Paul, and we would provide 1 hour clinics only once a week. So it really is amazing how they would look forward to us coming to that 1 hour a week. At the same time, St. Paul Parks wants to be a feeder system for the rest of the city. There is no public high school in St. Paul that offers varsity lacrosse. So, and that's the only place in Minnesota where it's not existent. So I think St. Paul Parks wants to do a good, provide a good role for the game, as it is emerging as one of the fastest growing games. And is played mostly out on both coasts, mainly out on the East Coast, and then certainly in Maryland, which is the mecca of lacrosse. But there are definitely inner city schools in the state of Maryland who play this game. So we want to be kind of a facilitator for something that's emerging, something that's new, and certainly something that's exciting. And the formula works with any sport. We just happen to choose lacrosse, and it seems to be working for us. So thank you so much, Linda, for your commitment. And we're going to continue to go throughout the summer as well as in the fall. And hopefully our small token of appreciation will help resonate in keeping us both afloat. So
we can't begin to tell you what the partnership means. We have currently 10 partners in the Youth and Family Services Division, which I'm the manager of. And what I appreciate about the Lewis Foundation is that not only do they come with their own coaches, so that's a financial blessing for me, especially in a climate where we're struggling financially, but they come with such an attitude that they understand some of the barriers for inner city youth, and they're welcoming, and they're appreciative that the youth are trying so hard, and it helps encourage them to come back each time. But also your foundation have provided healthy snacks. Yeah. And for our children living in impoverished neighborhood, the third largest achievement gap in the Twin Cities, to have that kind of snack is just a rarity for them. Wow. And so they're used to getting free lunch, free breakfast, and now to have that free snack. It helps us as an agency who can't provide those snacks to have that. And so the combination of the lacrosse clinics with the leadership and the life skills and the healthy snacks is a welcome for those children in that community.
Yeah, I remember one of your children said, I didn't want to compete because I'm too hungry.
Yes.
We literally have that because this was during our after-school program.
Exactly.
And that prompted us to really collaborate on providing some snacks for you to kind of give them the holdover before they got home, right? All right.
And for some, that might be the only meal they had for that night.
Yeah.
And so to know that it is healthy, it's something that will not only just fill them up and sustain them, then we know that junk food and those things that they typically would have would be different for them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Linda,
thank you so much.
Receiving the Doris M.H. Lewis Memorial Practitioner Award.
It is such an honor. I didn't know your mother,
There you go.
but I do know her son, and
Yeah.
I do appreciate the legacy that he's continued through the Merit Community Services and those other programs for inner city children
Yeah.
who typically would not have the opportunity to have something like this.
All right.
So I accept this award with great honor and great humility, and I hope that I can continue to be the practitioner that your mother was, that she could be proud of the work that I want to continue to do for those youth who might not have a voice.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.